All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of High Ground, where we cover everything about the Fortnite comics that there is to know. Today we've got,
Yes, yeah.
what is it, 0.3?
This is number three, issue 3.
I've been waiting for this one. This is what got
Yeah,
me most excited. So when I was
yeah.
rereading all these, I was like, once I got to this one again, I was like,
Mhm.
there's some stuff going on here that Donald Mustard is like.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
yeah.
Christos Gage is writing this, but
Mhm.
there's some secrets in here that like leading up to something.
Yeah,
What
this
is
is.
that? What is that? Is that a computer screen?
Yeah,
So
it's
this is
like
like
a.
an
It's like a.
email, an
Yeah.
IM.
Yep. Yep.
So what we
What?
see from this, it says inner office memo.
Yeah, this is very unique, comic
Yeah.
book wise. This is very unique the way they did this.
So basically,
This
we're
is
looking we're
yeah.
looking at like Batman fight, and as we're looking at this, we're looking at a message from the Loop observation. So that's
Mhm.
like a department inside the
Mhm.
IO,
Mhm.
and they're talking to this psyops
Yeah.
department. And
Mm.
I think that that's super interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how to go into anything about this. Like, we're learning so
This.
much.
This is a
Like,
lot.
so right now we have the loop observation and we have psyop. So that's two departments. As we go
Yeah.
through this, I want to count how many different departments we find so far
Yeah.
because it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
And
this entire comic actually, there's no talking.
yeah.
The entire number three is all imagined order talking.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yep. And then just from like even getting after the first page, just it starts off with since asset, Catwoman escaped the loop asset. Batman has displayed a single-minded determination to follow her, bordering on mania. Like this. So first of all, this is the first time we hear the IO call them assets. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about that in number two, like we were calling them assets. So that's how they refer to people they bring into the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Assets.
Mm-hmm.
So Thor from Nexus War
Was not an asset.
was not an asset because they didn't bring him
Mm-hmm.
in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they would have
So
called him.
So what? So what do you feel? Obviously, we know what an asset is. Obviously, we know what the IO does and has done. But what do you think makes them a true asset? What do you feel makes them that?
I think it's someone they brought to the loop for a purpose that
Mm,
they intended for them, whether it
mm.
manipulated them or
Yeah,
if it's part of the
like
team. It's probably an overarching. It's just like a very general term to someone who's part of their team. Because right now they consider Batman under their control.
right because and that's a good point because when and what makes the first page so important for going back is you see the crack right in
Mm-hmm.
Gotham.
Yep.
And that's like, how does Batman not figure out what that is? And that's how they like kind of entice people. That's how they become assets. They intentionally got Batman on the island, and it's in different ways. Like you said,
Well,
Thor was not an asset.
they kicked him in because he was being
Yeah,
really. He was like, I'm not touching that. He had his like
yeah,
science
yeah.
stuff looking at it, and then they
Mhm,
kicked him in. They wanted
mhm.
him in there.
And they knew that he wouldn't ignore it. They knew that this is his city. He's gonna try to figure out, get close to it, and then
Hmm.
he gets drop kicked in pretty much.
Yeah, dropping is exactly what happened. I mean, there's so many different things going on here that it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
But we do see the IO refer to things like the loop,
Mhm.
right? So, like here, his memory, like all he says, all assets, is lost when the storm resets with the conclusion of each loop.
Mhm. Now, do you here? I got something for you. You know how you was talking about the battle bus?
Hmm.
Is that Batman's glider?
Well, but like before they get on the glider, because
Mm-hmm.
like in the first time he got in the loop, he was just on the ground. Didn't know how he
Right.
got there, and like
Mm-hmm.
but like all the other people jump from the battle bus and then pull up
Mm-hmm.
their glider.
Mm-hmm.
So
Could this pot because
here, yeah, here he's right here. You see him flying. That's what you mean.
yeah, yeah. Could that be his glider? Like, could this be? See, even though the major is a preference, that could possibly be his glider because it seems so. This battle seems to be done slightly above with Guff in it. it seems like he's the last one standing, even though we don't see the storm. I think that might be him gliding in.
That's true.
Less glider redeploy is there right now.
That's true.
That's what it seems like to me.
So here's something I want to throw at you. I mean, we know how this ends.
Yeah.
But something you should pay attention to is, so basically the observatory is sending a message trying to figure out if they should be worried about Batman. Because he's figuring this out really quickly, right?
Yeah.
And they say, if you can help us figure out this memory manipulation thing, we urge acquisitions, which is another department. So these are assets. Acquisitions is a department that I think Jonesy is in.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you remember, whenever we see new skins come to the game, it's Jonesy takes that little thing and like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like there's this where he goes to The Walking Dead, creates a portal, and brings them in.
Yeah.
That's acquisitions.
Yeah.
And I think Jonesy played a part in the acquisitions part.
Sure.
So right here, what it says is, while he said, and the challenge is inherent in working remotely. So right now they're all working remotely.
Yeah.
And we know why, right?
Yeah. Right.
And that's the whole point of Batman being there. Is because they're all working remotely.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
That's you know what I mean? The whole remotely part, I was like, oh, see, that makes so much sense. I didn't catch that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole reason he's there. So if you go to the next page, it says loop observation to acquisitions. And they're saying thank you, and it looks like they sent in somebody to help, which is, of course, Snake Eyes.
And what I like about it is I went to the page after Batman and Snake Eyes, right? And, obviously, the IO says both use a staggering mix of fighting styles I have never seen before in these particular combinations. What's so unique is that, naturally, they're technically using their pickaxes in this instance because Batman doesn't use weapons. He doesn't use that in his Gotham City world, right? In that aspect, like he doesn't use guns for that, for instance. So the way they showed this, their fighting styles and that they have truly been trained. They're trained fighters. Yeah. And, them seeing this, it sparked their interest. They're like, they really want to understand these two assets even more and how they adapt on the island.
Yeah, it does look like a really epic fight too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this where they're fighting in the middle of the storm. That is a beautiful page. That's a great one.
Yeah, and I like how it says, given time, these two would definitely figure out they're being manipulated.
One of my favorite pages is coming up too. Couple pages. So this is
I like how it says we get a new fight.
Yeah,
we should start selling popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's another one. Here's another one where they say inter-office memo, loop observation to archives.
Yeah.
So it looks like loop observation are the ones who monitor the entire island.
Good catch, yeah.
And it seems like loop observations is the one who's masterminding this right now. So would we say that Salone is in charge of observations?
Possibly.
I mean, that's kind of how I would think about it. You know what? We're gonna have to throw up her symbol on up here.
Yeah.
You know the symbol on her chest? Doesn't it look like an LO?
I can see where you're getting at. Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Okay.
I don't know. That might be a stretch, but we're gonna throw this up there. You tell us in the comments below if that's an LO. I could be wrong.
This is man. This is crazy. So this is, what I like about these, about them using the cars and the trucks. It shows how obnoxiously crazy
the fight
a fight can be. You know what I mean? Like it. I think that is,
and it's accurate.
Yeah, and it seems, this is pretty much. They all pull back. They like, listen, I know what this is, but we got to watch this.
When everyone stopped fighting just to watch. And have you ever done that? I've done this in game where like I just saw like one time I saw this one character who had 17 kills.
Yeah.
I know this because after he killed the guy I was watching, he
Yeah.
came and killed me.
Yeah.
But so I watched this dude just plow through all these people, and I just stood on the mountain watching in a bush.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just amazed, and like he was just, I don't know if he ate a pepper or what. He just
He was
destroyed
just flying
everybody in
through.
sight. And then I tried to snipe him, missed,
Yeah.
and he just built all the way up to me and just took me out. I was like,
See, yeah, that's funny. That's and then, like even if you look at them sitting, what does them sitting on the builds remind you of?
oh my gosh,
It reminds you of like the events when we sit on our builds and
yeah.
every, but
They're treating this as a
yeah,
legit like event.
I mean, Trog has a slurp juice. This is
That's
like,
funny. On the next page, we see another one, psyops. Did we see that one yet?
oh yeah, 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 psyops. Yep.
They're going back to that for emotional retention. Like
Emotional.
they're literally have all these different departments, and it's so interesting.
Okay, so I have been thinking about this a lot, especially after rereading Zeropoint, right? Especially with the last page we just looked at. And then, thinking of Bright Bomber and Nexus War. Could it be that they're looped, but is there more to the island where it seems as though they're trying to show us that you may not have control, you may not be able to talk, but you can observe in a different way. You know what I mean? Like it's showing that there's like, I don't want to say like a chill moment or a moment where there's not fighting, but it seems like it may be like the way we count down to go into the game. It seems like there may be that type of moment, like a downtime almost. Like I can't explain it, but it just seems like we may find that out, in future comics.
So I mean, everyone can think for themselves. Like Batman can think clearly.
Yeah.
So all these people are thinking clearly. Why aren't they just trying to communicate? Why are they fighting?
Right.
Right. Why is their initial thing to fight?
Because they have to, because of the circle.
Well, there's the storm is getting closer.
Yes.
Right, and then there's some people who just start fighting off the break.
Right, they love it, so they're like Harley Quinn almost.
or they're ordered to, because like if you're attacked, you are on guard, and every time you see somebody, everyone's on guard, so everyone's gonna start fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the IO are instigating it.
That makes sense though, because that is right. Because so there is, let's just say it is 100. It could not be, but let's say it is 100. There is ones that are, as this storm is closing in, they have no choice, survival of the fittest. Then there are the ones that work for the IO that don't know if they work for the IO. Then there's the ones that legit work for the IO, and know it. It's so many different things that's going into this.
And you don't know what you're doing. You don't have a memory. You just know you have to.
You
want to
do
stay
this.
alive.
Yeah,
you want to stay alive.
Right.
All right. The most interesting part of this entire comic for number 3 is where the observation department says, and this is what they go, which is why I want to confirm with you that there's never been an example of beings from different origin points uniting for any significant duration. It has like N.
Yeah.
And then it does another window, and it says, I'll throw up on the screen here, but it says OAREDJIK, and then it's like 0:=.
Yeah.
And then it says message deleted. What does that mean? Anything to you?
See this?
What is who's deleting it? Why was it deleted?
So it's almost like mods. It's like this. It's like
they didn't want this to go into record.
Yeah, it's like certain messages will not be able to go through.
So, hear me out. I have a theory.
Okay.
My wild theory, right? All of this stuff goes into like records. They have a whole archive department. You should be able to pull up logs from anything. That's why this all in writing, right? Jonesy thought he was doing the right thing. Jonesy's not a bad guy, but he works for the IO, right?
Right.
And then he called on the 7 and stuff, and because he's like, they abandoned it and they were gonna everything go to shit. And like Jonesy was like, no, this is not why we do this.
Yeah.
Or so he thought.
Right.
And so here, this is what it looks like for me. Have we ever had an example of beings from different origin points uniting for any significant duration? Any beings, origin points uniting. I'm thinking the 7.
I can see where you're going.
I
I
think
can
the
see where you're going.
7
Uh-huh.
were formed on the island.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And then
yeah.
they grouped up.
Then they grouped
It
up.
wasn't like them, so they were all very skilled, just like Snake Eyes and Batman,
I get what you're
and they
getting
all
at.
grouped up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when he asked that question, it deleted it. They decided to delete it.
Because in that case, that would technically make sense for Imagined and the Order. Because they don't have their memory right now. They don't remember who they are at all. And this is 7. These two are a part of the 7, by the way. But they don't remember who they are at all. But they are believed to have worked for the IO. So throughout time, are we going to find out, when we find out what the Order and the Imagined history is, could that be a part of it? Because that's a great theory. I like
Yeah,
that theory
and
a lot.
I'm not dead ass on. I'm not dead on, but
Yeah.
there's something around
It's
that, right?
something
Like,
there.
why are they
Yeah.
deleting that message?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that. That's a great theory for sure.
So the very next one, we get a whole new one. We get the archives, right? And so the archives goes in. So I guess all the messages, all the footage. So they record everything.
Yeah.
That's why it was so important to delete that message.
Yeah.
Because they don't want anybody else finding it, like Jonesy or anybody else who doesn't know what their true goal is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think Jonesy ever knew what the true goal of the IO was.
Right. It was, so was this is like, it seems to me that this was a job Jonesy kind of started from the ground floor. He got recognition. He did his job. He kind of worked his way to the top, and now he's finding out. He has found out what all of this has, everything that the IO stands for, and he's like, "Wow, all these." He said it before. He said it before. All these years I spent, all this time, I've been doing this for so long, and now I'm peeling the layers back, and this is ugly, and I have to fix this. And so that makes it interesting.
And we have another message deleted here. They go, assets are not from the same point of origin, yet somehow appear to comprehend each other. So it must be a language or code used on multiple source worlds.
Yeah.
The reply is needed ASAP, because if these assets are able to communicate and plan, or worse, collaborate, they could present serious message deleted.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite pages, just because like we've been talking about, you're gonna naturally adapt. Because what this turned into between Snake Eyes and Batman was a level of respect. It was a level of respect of their fights, and they are now like, they understand that this is off. So this connection is really, this was a great part right here. I think issue 3 was very important to us finding out more about how the IO moves and how pretty much these assets adapt over time on the island.
Okay, so we find some more. We have from loop observation to all senior partners. When senior partners, that sounds like a business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not like a government agency. That's not like senior partners. I don't know. That was. It says assets, Batman and Snake Eyes, summary, evaluation. And I won't read all of this, but you guys have to read some of these things and just try to figure out what the heck is going on here.
This one.
And then a whole another one we have. So we have from loop observation to extra loop observation. And it says, be advised that asset Batman is inbound. You're welcome to contact me with any questions or concerns. So not only do they monitor inside the loop,
yeah,
they monitor outside the loop.
Yeah. This is
right.
And I just love how it shows that it's just like it's truly a job. They're truly working, just with the much needed personal time, tomorrow, and but they'll still be monitoring. That is it shows that this is consistently monitored all through time. I'm so interested to see how big the IO really is and the departments. Like, I want to, because when you see when Jonesy ran through, and you know, and even when the Foundation slammed, what's the guard's name?
Oh, Brute Gunner.
Yeah, when he slammed his head into there, that was the exact place that we're gonna see in the future issues. You know, like where they were, where the Zeropoint is, and I think they depicted that perfectly. But
It's
yeah,
definitely an office building, and that's why Jones is
yeah,
wearing a suit and all this kind of stuff. It's definitely some kind of company,
yeah,
or and some of them are in it for the greater good.
yeah,
They think
yeah,
some are in it for money and control,
yeah,
obviously.
and it's
'Cause where there's money and control, there's villains who are easy to buy, right?
yep, which will, and not only that, like if you think of how weird, like you remember when Sloane first came in the game, her first outfit was very unique and different, but it's business
It had a
casual.
tie.
It's business casual,
Yeah, she had a
like
business casual outfit.
so and then she obviously had her, her battle,
So
outfit, but yeah,
even if we take over the island, their base isn't the Fortnite island.
right,
They have a base, a headquarters somewhere else, right? And they're able to work remotely, as we've seen they've been doing,
yes,
which means they
yeah,
have procedures in place
yep,
for when they lose control of the island so that they can regain it.
man,
And obviously, if they don't have control of the island right now, they do have the ability to open up rifts while not on the island. We don't know how they do that yet. Right?
this is gonna be interesting.
All right. Well, you guys have to tune in next time for episode number 4.
Yeah,
I had to reread it before then so I can
yeah,
find any more secrets. But this one, I didn't even count how many organizations that was. I mean, departments. How many departments that was? At least 4 or 5, right?
yeah.
Pretty
And
crazy.
issue
Pretty
4
crazy.
gets very in depth, so I can't wait till we
Yeah,
get to that one.
yeah, it's one of my favorites. All right, guys, you know the drill.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment, tell us what we missed.
Yeah,
If you haven't read it, please read it. Do not just listen to me.
yeah.
Tell me what I missed. I'm sure I missed something. Tell me if anyone codes, or tell me what that message deleted was. There's secrets hidden here, and we just got to figure them out.
Yeah, and just just also like whatever you enjoyed in a comic, whether we cannot overlook the art of this, especially because this is a between Donald Mustard and everybody that's on this team. They really put this together well. So tell us what pages you liked, art style wise, all of that, and we'll get back to y'all.
All right, you guys. We'll catch y'all next time for episode 4.